Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am your host, Daniel Prue, and joining me, as always, are my super American co-hosts, Philip Gilfus and Darren Moser. Guys, how was your week? Anything exciting going on in Star Trek land, or anything else that we want to know about?
I've been talking Next Gen with my sister-in-law. She has a little one that is 4 months old, and so while he occupies a lot of her time, it leaves her lots of time to watch Star Trek. And so she's been watching through Next Gen for the first time. And I think she's about 8 or 9 episodes into season 4. And she's been really enjoying it. So, we've been able to talk more about different things. And yeah, that's been a fun new source of conversation.
Who's your favorite character?
Probably Data. I didn't ask specifically, but she had performed in a little fan film. They actually did it all over Zoom, where like everybody's on the screens, like talking in different areas, and lots of clever use of blue screen and stuff like that. But they made a little Star Trek fan film over during the pandemic with nobody actually in the same place as everybody else. And so she had a she played an android type character. So that was kind of what sparked her interest, so she wanted to learn more and just absorb more. But on personal note, I rewatched, because every once in a while I'll pick like an episode just at random, and I rewatched Devil's Due. Is always a fun one
So
with
good.
Ardra, and just that moment at the end, Picard just zings her, and
Did she not pick up a piece of trash?
And then Picard's like, or Data, the judge, is like, your allotment's run up, Captain. Time to stop making the ground shake. But as a fun episode always, and I'm pretty sure I've seen her appear again in some of the books that I've read, and those. So I like the ones that have expanded upon that corner of the Star Trek world.
Yeah, that's a great corner. What about you, Philip? Anything exciting going on?
Oh my gosh. Guys, you know this, but I will share this with our listeners. Obviously, I'm moving, and so I'm selling a lot of things, going to used bookstores. And, if everyone's ever been to a used bookstore selling stuff, they ask, do you want credit or cash? Always smart to get credit. You always get like twice as more. But the whole point is to get rid of stuff, so they're getting cash. But they still kind of give you credit. Like, you'll ask for cash, and they still give you, like, here's $2 credit or something. So I had 2 credits to burn, and I'm like browsing the Star Trek section, and there's stuff for like a quarter, 75 cents. And I was like, you know what? Browse, I can get through some books, maybe some airplane books. So I ended up getting not all, but most of the original series novelizations, movies, I should say. So I have motion picture, I have Star Trek 2, I have Star Trek 5, which we talked about before, and which I'm dying to read to see if they, make it better, and Star Trek 6. So guys, I am reading the novelization of Star Trek the Motion Picture by Gene Roddenberry, of course. To get that money grab.
Oh, wow.
Guys.
He wrote it?
Wait, did he actually write it, or did...
Oh, I have no doubt that he wrote it. I have no doubt that he wrote it, guys.
It's getting worse.
This is a family show, so I don't know how else to describe the book other than crazy horny. Family.
So
it is
season
definitely,
4.
Yeah, definitely Gene Roddenberry. Okay.
Guys, it's rated SV.
Oh, okay.
Just like the episode we'll be talking about.
Is that a thing? I'm sorry.
Sex and violence.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know. Wait, did they rate streaming shows? Was it?
Did you not get that on Paramount Plus? It did SV, and I'm like, wait.
I could have seen it, but I might have just completely glanced over it. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, no, that is like, I won't repeat, but it's like, Ali appears in the sonic shower, and there's a description of how she appears and how certain things appear, and I'm like, oh, God, Gene. God.
Well, it's not a movie, Philip. You can't see it, so apparently you have to graphically describe it.
I've seen the movie, and they, Oh boy.
How many pages is the Enterprise flyby? How many chapters?
I know,
is the
right?
Enterprise flyby?
That was my joke. I mean, it's like 2 pages. It's like, he sees it. Scotty took the circuitous, route, but anyway. Oh boy, but stuff, guys. Oh, stuff. Don't read it. Don't read it.
Your eyes will not forgive you if you read the book, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I will. We will.
So
have
the holonovel was better, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Just watch the movie. I mean, it's hard to say that it's better, but it is.
We'll have to circle back once you do read the novelization of Star Trek V, like we talked about a couple episodes back, because that will be interesting to hear. But even, honestly,
does that mean we have to watch Star Trek V?
No,
we already did.
Comparison.
We did that. Like,
re-listen to the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. I'd rather do that.
We will not be doing that again for a very long time. All right. Well, we did get a little dash of new Star Trek, infused with a whole bunch of old Star Trek, of course. But this week we had episode 4, I think, of season 2 of Lower Decks called Mugato.
Or one question, has it been since the last time we recorded that the Prodigy intro came out?
Oh,
I don't feel like
yes.
we talked about that.
We did not. Yes,
so,
that's true. The
yeah,
Prodigy
so sidebar
credits sequence, I guess you'd call it, opening sequence, was revealed, and it is quite pretty, and the music was nice. And
had a bit of a 09 flair to it.
Yeah, I think generally that you could say that modern Star Trek kind of...
Well, it was Michael...
Michael Giacchino. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, even people who don't like what a lot of people call JJ Trek, I think everybody can agree that soundtrack is fantastic.
Oh, even Into Darkness soundtrack rocks. Even despite the flashbacks it gives me, I'll still listen to the music.
So good. The music is amazing. So,
but it's cool because we not only get, it's very Voyager-esque. It's a starship flying around. I mean, that's,
just like Lower Decks.
9 out of 10 Star Trek intros. That's what it is. But it has cool contrails and it goes into its super warp mode, whatever that is.
Yeah,
ridiculous
we don't.
speed.
So
ludicrous.
Like
speed.
I'm not gonna nitpick. I'll save it for the actual show. But a third, some sort of propulsion, I guess you'd call it a nacelle or an engine or something, comes out of the interior of the ship.
Nox. It's Nox powered.
And I feel
turbo.
I feel like it takes up the entirety of that whole ship. So I'm like, man, why even cover it up then at that point? But whatever. I'm not worried about it. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just
the carburetor.
I was confused. I guess what I'm saying is I'm confused. But
don't worry, we'll get the Prodigy blueprint.
Yeah, sure we will, manual. Philip. Sure we will.
I was just going to say it's not the Prodigy though. It's called
the Protostar.
Yes. The Protostar. Thank you, Darren.
So almost Prodigy. Prodigy on the Protostar.
So is
posthumous? Wait, no, that's not. No.
Well, I guess Lower Decks. I was going to say the first Star Trek show not to have the name of the thing in the title.
Yeah, Lower Decks.
Past, Deep Space Nine, of course.
Yep. So, it was pretty, and the music was nice, but it didn't really give us any insight other than the ship has a fancy thing.
Well, it was flying through representations of the characters, subtly. You had kind of eyes. And it's very Discovery-esque.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
So you had the rock monster lady, kind of by her panels and stuff. And so, again, I think it'll make more sense once we actually know all these characters. We'll recognize them more from the intro. It was very, very subtle, but it was there. It's is Chakotay representing the rings they fly over in the Voyager one? Who is the asteroid chunk that flies over?
Neelix.
Yeah, is that Neelix? Who's the starburst that they the sun? But or DS9? Who's that one little shuttle that's making its way to Bajor or something at the very beginning? More. Okay. All right.
I will say, and it, of course, I'm sure more attention was paid to it because it's the intro, but it was very pretty, very, very. The animation was fantastic, and I hope they maintain that quality. That would be great.
And it was also kind of a long intro. It took a good amount of time. It wasn't
DS9 length.
Clone Wars, it's not like Star Wars. Here we go, and we're in. Just like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
We don't got time for intros.
I did like the I don't know, Trek Core or whoever, but anyway, they were posting or tweet threading or whatever the word I'm trying to say is the
live streaming.
The actors, like the picture of the actor, the voice actors, well, actors, just actors, the pictures of the actors who play all the characters, and I thought it was interesting. There actually was one kid. I mean, you would think, well, they're all kids, but at least have one. There's one kid playing. I don't know if it's the main part or whatever, but so that was nice to actually have.
But it's still common in animation to have adults play kid-sounding voices. I mean, look at The Simpsons or anything else. That's not uncommon.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, but it was good that at least one, because it gives it that youth connection.
Well, if it's a boy, we're going to see his voice change over the next couple seasons. So that's going to be interesting. But
Season 3 will be like, hey, guys.
Little Billy, is that you?
Season 2 will be like, hey, guys.
There is still, I was going to say, we'll find out some more when Prodigy drops, but we still have no idea when that is. It's still, it's just a tentative date of 2021. So,
but there's not that many months left of 2021. So, is it the next show after Lower Decks? I don't know.
It has to be, right?
It would have to be.
Been announced officially.
I mean, we're not going to get another season of Discovery propped in the middle there. And Picard is just
2022
shooting.
We know Picard's 2022. They said that.
Yeah, we know that.
So if I had to guess, then let's say
it could be Strange New Worlds.
Well, here's the thing, guys. As of recording, we're recording before Star Trek Day, which is tomorrow, I believe.
That's right.
And we're probably going to get
Wednesday,
but we're probably going to get a slew of announcements.
I know you want it to be on Tuesday because of Star Trek, but
they told me it would be next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we had to just guess, let's just say Lower Decks, then Prodigy, then Discovery.
I'm guessing Strange New Worlds is going to come in before.
Well, we
Discovery.
haven't even gotten a trailer for Strange New Worlds yet.
Maybe we will Wednesday.
But that's the thing, though. There's so much Trek out there now. I don't feel like we need a year's worth of prep for a show. Like
we don't. You're right, but we have already a trailer for Discovery, is my point. So we've already gotten more Discovery. Like, there's already anticipation built in.
I've forgotten that. Have we gotten a trailer for Discovery?
Yeah, remember? It's the anomalies are taking over the galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's hard. How could I forget that in comparison to the other seasons of Discovery? I know we got the Picard trailer.
We did. Right. Well, that was a teaser.
The teaser.
We have a full-blown trailer for Discovery Season 3.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking that it's going to be first.
What? Season 4.
4. Oh my goodness. Wow, time flies.
Just use Roman numerals. It'll make it easier.
Time flies when you're 1,000 years in the future, I guess. Yeah. So Prodigy, then I would guess Discovery. Then I don't think we're going to see Strange New Worlds.
I think Strange will, I agree. It'll be later.
So, and then who knows? Maybe we're going to get a new show announced. Or 5 new shows this week.
Oh, man. If the opening shot of Strange New Worlds is like Eric's walking down a corridor, I'm just going to die. Like, that would be amazing.
Where would he have been for the whole 3 years of Star Trek, though?
He was assigned to, like Sulu, he was like a botanist for the first couple of years.
He was just down.
In season 4,
he's in engineering. He's got that third arm. He just pulls the lever all the time. Every couple of minutes, it keeps the engines going. I don't know. He has a gold shirt, so probably not. But
well, we will see. And like Philip says, there may be some announcements because, surprise, actually, Paramount actually pushed Star Trek Day. They pushed out a little promo for it. It was nice. It was kind of nice to see. It's a little bit of a shift in kind of how they've been handling Star Trek in the past. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe we get some announcements. Maybe it's a nothing burger, but we'll find out this week. So, and we'll let you know. But this past week, we did get a tiny bit of new Star Trek, so let's talk about that. Episode 4 of Season 2 of Lower Decks, Mugato, Gumato, Bagato, Patukato.
It's okay. It's purposely designed so it doesn't matter how you pronounce it.
So it turns out, and I'm going to put this out there for the world to know, because I didn't know this as a Star Trek fan myself. The reason that that whole thing is a runner and a joke inside the title is because apparently William Shatner and DeForest Kelley had some troubles pronouncing that name in the actual episode from the original series. So that's where that joke comes from and why it's such a running gag in this entire episode. So there you go. A little bit of trivia for you guys. Just big thoughts here. Philip, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? There was a lot in this episode to like or hate. And what did you think?
I'm in the middle. I think there are aspects of this episode that would make me not like it, but at the end of the day, there were funny parts enough to keep me, whatever. I don't want to be a prude, but there was stuff that kind of above my sensibilities. But that said, it wasn't anything that made me want to turn it off or anything, and I'd probably watch it again. So yeah, no, this is regular. It was regular for me.
So this is breaking up the sequence a little bit here, Philip, but because you specifically said it in that way that you're a prude, there's one scene in particular that you're talking about, presumably, right? Right.
I think two, honestly.
Okay.
I think the Mugato sex scene. And not that I had a problem with it per se. I think it's kind of like reminds me of like the Family Guy rule. I'm making that phrase up in my head of where like Fox would be like, all right, Seth, you can show like, Seth would be like, can we go this far with the whatever, some sexual act? Can we show this much? Can we show, and I think they could have done the concept. They just could have showed a little bit less. I would have been like, guys, can we cut? I get it. Look, it's fine. It's a joke. I get it. Ha ha. Animal sex and they have to hide. But like, just don't show as much, And then I think the other part was just like, that Mugato killed some Ferengi. Like, they died.
Oh, yeah.
They were dead.
Took his head off,
there
right?
was blood.
It was weird blood, right? It was like, was it like orange blood or something?
Yeah. And I was just like,
it was not red blood, but.
Not used to like, massacres in my Star Trek cartoons, but, I get it. Ha ha. It's not real, but I'm like, So that was my prudish stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, and I would think, generally speaking, I would sit on the very opposite end of the fence with you, Philip, in terms of this stuff. Like, I don't care if it's in Star Trek. But I don't want to say the word shocked. That's not right. But I was very surprised that they went as far as they did. And all for what I would consider a kind of you brought it up, kind of a Family Guy joke. I mean, really, at the end, that's all it was with the third Mugato and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it didn't bother me, but I also was like, wow, if
you're gonna go this far, have a better joke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like not to like get into it, but I mean, I will just talk about what we saw. Like when it touched its horn, I was like, okay, like you could say it was gonna watch. And that's the haha, and that's funny. But like, okay, guys, you're getting a little spicy.
Darren, what about you? Were your sensibilities also tickled a little bit here?
Did your monocle fall out into your tea?
Did you clutch any pearls while watching the episode? Or?
The main scene that I wasn't really enjoying, it was right off the bat where they're doing the Ambu Jitsu. And I just, again, I don't know. The thing that I kept thinking of, so, okay, like they've been practicing and they've been training and they fight against Mariner and they're actually winning. It's like, oh, okay, hey kids, training and practicing extra helps you do better. Oh, wait, actually, main character syndrome. So now that she's going to not only kick your butt, but like break your teeth and shatter your face. And it was interesting because I know this is Lower Decks and I know this is not TNG, but it is very heavily based on TNG. And I'm like, I cannot picture any of the TNG characters being like, oh, you presented a challenge? I'm literally going to break your face. Ha ha, that's funny. Like, it just took me out of it completely. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is supposed to be developing or if it's the ha ha, we're afraid of Mariner trope. And I just was like, okay, I thought this was going to be a cool moment. We saw it in the trailer, where, and Bujitsu's coming back. They didn't actually even do it where you use the one part to detect and the other. No, they were just kicking each other's butts the entire time. And I'm like, okay. So that kind of from right off the bat, I was kind of like, I don't know, just, it wasn't really doing it for me as far as the type of jokes they were trying to tell. on the other hand, I really liked Boimler and Rutherford playing the acquisitions game or whatever it was. That was funny.
Diplomacy or whatever it was.
Yeah, like diplomacy and like you win by having a mutual compromise where you're not satisfied. I'm like, and then they use that in the end, and it's like foreshadowing and plot. That I liked, and I also liked the Lord of the Rings kind of callback of when they're hiding underneath the tree with the Mugato looking over. It was very similar to the ring wraiths hunting is like if you look at the shot, it's very, very similar to when the ring wraiths were hunting the hobbits, and I'm pretty sure they were drawing a parallel there, and then the joke with the explorer, who hasn't actually written any books, he's read 3 books or 5 books.
That guy's head got bit off, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It was, but I mean, they were obviously.
It was fun. I mean,
they were playing that for laughs, and those parts were good. Everything else was maybe just in between. So I would definitely not one of my favorite Lower Decks episodes. I don't know. I feel like season 2 is kind of sliding for me, and I don't know if that's them getting more loose with their jokes and their things that they think are funny. Because I felt like for the most part in season 1 was more hits than misses. And I feel like my hit versus miss counter for season 2, at least for me personally, because it's all humor, which is very subjective, is sliding more. And I'm getting less and less hits each episode so far. It's a little hard.
I'm just picturing
we'll see.
Darren's Lower Deck season review. It's just a picture of like a battleship thing, and it's like how many reds and how many whites does he have per season? Yeah. Look it up.
Not those kind of hits. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like it's humor, which is hard to quantify. And I'm sure there's people who are like, oh, every single joke in this episode was a banger and was just super fun. And then there's, I don't know, some I'm feeling it's just harder and harder. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. Obviously there's Trek references, the blatant ones are funny. And I think they could have also gone a different direction with like Mariner and them thinking she's covert ops. Like I want them to do flashbacks where she's in the black body socking going, and then like put her in all the moments we've seen people in that, something like that, like as a fun reference, but.
Or she has a black badge and it just like ends up being covered in like dirt or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or like a discovery badge or something, make it fun. And I don't know, it just it was kind of also different pairings, which was good. We had Boimler and Rutherford, although they were spending most of the time again just not being competent at all officers, which I mean, again, if that's the show they're trying to make, I guess, but that's my overall thoughts, I guess.
It's funny about the Ambo Jitsu scene. It didn't rub me that way, the same way that it did you. Like, I can see your point definitely, and like thinking about it, like like once you start maiming another person, you would think that
it was just a hair too far. I'm like, I get the joke, but it was all of a sudden it wasn't funny anymore.
They're in their S and their V.
Shit. But you were saying, Daniel.
But what I thought about what kind of struck me is like, what would you do like in Star Trek future, like if you could heal all of these injuries with no problems, if you have 2 people willing to beat the snot out of each other.
True.
Like how far could that go, and would maybe that be okay for it to happen because it can be fixed like with nothing.
And maybe if they had done that where like Tendi was on the sidelines with a dermal regenerator, and literally every time someone got kicked out of the ring, she just boop healed them, and then they went back in. Like that becomes funny. But there was none
would be
of
like,
that.
"Can you just let me bleed for a little bit?"
Yeah. But instead we had Shrax on the sideline going, I see nothing, hear nothing. This is all okay. You have 10 more minutes to lacerate your teammates. So yeah, no, I agree. There is, and that did go through my head. There's that. Obviously, there's dermal regenerators, and we can fix and heal bones and everything, but it's still pain and stuff like that. So I think if they had done something like that with Tendi, with a medical hypo whatever on the side, literally instantly healing them so they could be beat up longer. That is funny. That cycle makes it.
Can you give me the one that makes it look like I'm dead?
Yeah. How is this ethically right, Tendi? And she's like, well, I haven't gotten to that part of my course yet. Something like that. Yeah. No, that, again, for me, it was a little too much where I'm like, okay, I don't think this is going to... It just wasn't really working for me. Yeah. I know these aren't next-gen characters, but I could not picture... right, or even Worf being like, "Oh, a challenge," and then he literally like breaks Riker's nose. Like that's just not going to happen.
B'Elanna broke that one guy's nose.
That's true, but he had it coming. So.
And Worf, specifically, since you mentioned him, he bruised and contused Jadzia all up and down. Although that's a different context.
That was them earning their S.
Yeah, that's earning their S. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I can see your point. It's just interesting. That scene also did have, and I wanted to bring this up, Shax fighting the other guy, the other senior.
The Tamarian.
Yeah.
Kayshawn.
So I guess they're both there now, and I guess Shax is just back, and I guess it's just a thing.
I guess.
Who's the security officer? Wait, are they job sharing? Is that what that is?
No, they're it's the whole roll the dice who is the chief engineer, but with the main security guy.
Maybe.
We just don't know.
Although Shax was heavily featured in this episode, and I liked Shax from season 1, and like I'm glad he still exists as a character. But why kill him off? What was the whole point of that? It boggles my mind, and it's distracting to me. It's distracting that he's there. It's distracting that he's like, it's just like, wait a minute, he's supposed to be dead, but I guess not. So
yeah, I felt he had a great story arc in season 1, and I was really interested in Kayshawn's story and him being more. But then now that Shax is back, it's kind of like, okay, I guess we're not doing that.
What does Kayshawn call his security team?
Little. Oh, I don't know. What did they call?
The baby bears, yeah. Or the bear pack.
Does he call it? I don't know, the squad that
Picard and so on the planet.
Yeah.
So we're kind of all over the place, but let's do this. Let's talk about the B plot first, and the B plot with Tendi.
Oh, the medical.
She's given a task. She's by herself in this episode, although she has lots of scenes with Cation Doctor Lady. I don't remember the character's name.
Dr. Tavana.
Dr. Tavana. She's given a task to scan everybody who refuses to show up for their medical.
Because your physical is basically a scan at this point. It doesn't. You don't even need to come in to.
Now, Daniel, I, as you're sort of the resident expert here of the three of us, I was expecting the doctor to have like a yellow exclamation point over her head. And so when Tendi came
I have a quest for you.
With every scan, she would like, some gold would just go into, and then she'd
It was funny too, because as soon as I saw the bottom line, which wasn't a character name, it was a number, I'm like, okay, it's some mystery. Oh, it's the doctor. It's the doctor who doesn't want to get herself scanned. But it was okay, I guess. Tendi, I did think it was really funny when she, at the end, when she's like, I've earned a lot of character development since earlier this afternoon. She's like, I'm a totally different person from all I've learned. But, she has a pretty gnarly arm break.
Yeah,
they'll fix that. No problem.
Yeah, they will. That skeeved me out. I don't like that kind of stuff. But
there was something to skeeve everyone out in this episode.
What did you guys think about
they're earning their V, they have it. So
I'd actually forgotten, because it's been a couple of days since I watched. I completely forgot about that storyline because I just remembered this A1 until you told me. But it was I don't know. I thought it was going to be, and again, I didn't think it was going to be super long, the concept. I just thought it was going to be funnier. Because, like, what's the reason people don't want to be scanned? It was just her, like, a cartoon, which it is, like, her popping out of this, scan, popping out of that. And, like, right. I thought, like, it'd be funnier, like, a reason. And then, like, what would be the reason the doctor doesn't? I mean, like, oh, she doesn't like, but I mean, like, that doesn't. It doesn't have to be something complex. Like, it could be 3 lines. Tricorders make my.
Or maybe there is some running bet between the lower decks of how long can you go without being medically scanned. Like, I'm up to 255 days, and so it's like some silly thing that has nothing to do with it, but it's an internal reason why they're trying to avoid being medically scanned.
It's also, by the way, super terrible, like, distribution of work to have everybody scheduled on the same day. Why wouldn't you have rolling scans?
Heck, why don't you use internal sensors? It seems like you could hit one button and then everybody gets scanned.
Anytime anybody used the transporter, you would have a complete total scan of their body. Yeah, it seems like a non-issue in Star Trek world, but whatever, that's fine.
I mean, I like the concept, which I don't know if this is what necessarily they're going for, but maybe they were. I mean, I like the concept of trying to think, like, in the writer's room, what's the lowliest job in each of these departments? Because, I mean, that's the whole point of Lower Decks.
Yeah.
And we've gotten some of that throughout the show. But, like, I would just, like, you have a junior... I don't know, what is she? Is she, like, she's not a doctor. I mean, she's just like she's
nurse. An ensign, just she's blue shirt ensign.
She's an ensign, yeah.
But I mean, what would you call her? Like a medic, a nurse?
I don't know.
She's a blue shirt. That's all I need to know.
Not teal.
She calls them her patients in this episode. So like
she's studying to be a doctor, but that's true because doctor in itself is its own thing, and we don't really talk about that.
I mean, she could be a nurse because Alyssa was a lieutenant.
I guess to be a nurse.
It was interesting because I was actually talking. We were just recently talking. We were going through Deep Space Nine, and I was trying to explain to her like Bashir's status, and like when he enters Deep Space Nine, he just graduated from the academy and also medical school. I guess it's not exactly clear, but he is a doctor at that point, and he's a junior grade lieutenant. I think.
Yes.
Yes. So he has gone into school and he's now a complete doctor, and also
he would have been first in his class if it wasn't for that.
If it wasn't a pre-fibrate ganglia,
post-ganglionic nerve. But we almost know it. He says
we
it's
retconned it that he purposefully did it, even though he complained about it for 4 seasons. But
that's right.
Well,
interesting.
It's not retcon. That's character development, Philip.
It is interesting though, because there must be different tracks, right? Like full blown doctors, like him, would be different than someone like Tendi, who I guess isn't still, because she's still an ensign. She's not considered a doctor, so I don't know.
That's true. You're medical personnel, I guess. But
what is that? Like, what would you call that in real life? Like a nurse, a technician?
Well, I guess the closest thing would be
she's a pharmacist. She's going to be a.
That would be cool. But that would be cool.
Yeah, sure, yeah, totally.
She fills She has to fill the hypo spray and check their Federation insurance against the database computer before prescribing stuff.
Hey, there's a lot of See, Lower Decks, there's plenty of stuff for you to fill in. It doesn't have to be 99% whatever jokes. But anyways, okay, so that's the B plot. Let's start talking about the A plot, which I guess is essentially about Ferengi who are trying to take advantage of these poor Gumatos. They have this planet where they are harvesting their horns, I guess, is what they're doing.
It's kind of a, rhino analog, obviously.
Yeah. Right. But these are they specifically call them out as, what did they say? They said the episode title, didn't they? What is the episode title from TNG where they first introduced?
Oh, Last Outpost Ferengi.
She calls them Last Outpost Ferengi. And
whips.
So they've got the whips, and
there's lightning. It's very similar.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that and where that ends up? Of course, we've talked a little bit about bits and pieces of it, but what did you think about the whole story?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I like the concept. I mean, we haven't seen Ferengis as villains forever. I mean, like, because DS is like villains, hand quotey, comic relief, really. So, of course, I don't know. I almost feel like I almost don't like the Ferengi as villains. Like, I feel like, I mean, like, and this is going to sound stupid, or just being critical of stuff, but like when they use the Packlids, which have used a lot, and now they're using the Ferengi, and I'm just like, I don't know. It just seems too easy. And they're not that powerful. Like, I was really surprised. I mean, whatever.
That's true.
Works.
There's not really any actual threat villains that we've seen. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but...
Where's the Romulans? Well, they're all...
But they're dipping back into the...
TNG era threats.
Like early season 1, season 2 TNG. Like, are these really threats? And they never really got developed like that.
But I mean...
Well, and that's, I guess, the thing about the way that this is structured is that the Ferengi are not a threat to the Cerritos as a whole. They're only a threat in this very limited context of the landing party.
Of the mission.
Yeah, of the actual mission. And why did they even go down there? Oh, because there was a Mugato sign, I guess. So it was like a endangered species thing. That's what it was.
We got the Denobulans. We
did get some Denobulans. Yeah, that was fun.
Their threat response.
That was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I'll not to skip ahead, but I think just say something good, Phil. I think the most surprising part, like I was genuinely surprised in a good way, is that when Rutherford and Boimler came in with their Gorn styled planet-made bazooka.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought that was going to be a weapon or something.
And then it's a hollow projector.
And that's funny. To me, that was really that worked. I was not expecting that. So...
It was good for a lot of reasons. In fact, I would argue to kind of knock down, not just in context of this episode with her fake, her fake rumors about herself that she had spread, Mariner, but just in general, just for her to be like, I need you guys to save the day with your smarts. That was great. That was a great Star Trek resolution to this conflict. It was, I mean, we've literally seen people do this exact same thing with Quark. 10 times on Deep Space Nine, this is better because it's more profitable. Yeah. But it was done super cleverly and fun, and that was definitely the best part of the episode, I think.
And okay, I'm about to go deep here, so feel free to stop me. There's the theme of this episode, or the kind of theme for this episode is a little troubling, but I'm going to get over it because it's just a cartoon. Because, the theme is kind of that these are, to use some phrasing, soft boys, which I don't think is a thing in the 24th century. Right? Mariner is big and tough, and these are boys, these guys, but these aren't, strong guys. These are just, nerdy nerds. And I'm I get that that's a joke, but, in the 24th century, that's genderism, kind of, really. I mean, guys can't have, and I know, it's
and
a little
they're
heavy.
Starfleet officers, but they're acting like civilians. They had, as if they had no training or no skill, and they're petrified, and it's oh, okay. But they didn't act like that 2 or 3 episodes ago, so it's just so inconsistent.
Yeah. So again, it's a cartoon, supposed to be funny. But it just seemed like there's a little kind of a gendered thing of okay, I mean, what, guys aren't allowed to be smart and whatever. But okay, whatever.
This is also the same issue that we had too when a couple episodes ago when Mariner was fighting with that dude and they had to listen to their underlings to Tendi and Rutherford, and it's this is the same thing where it's the show itself is presenting us as if Mariner is the end all be all amazing character that can solve every problem, and then surprised by itself when some of these other characters have value and can also contribute. And it's well, stop setting her up as this amazing, crazy Uber character.
And it's lower decks.
Can do everything.
It should be them versus everyone else, not her versus her own compatriots. Don't. I mean, obviously they want to develop Mariner as the main character, and most of the stories always revolve around her, and that's fine. But it should be her and her squad, but there's been a lot of infighting lately of them, maybe because it took a while for Boimler to come back or all this other stuff going on. But maybe we are hopefully going to get the they got left in their spacesuits episode, and they're all going to have to work together to actually make it back.
The therapy episode, the shuttle pod one episode.
Shuttle pod one, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Rutherford's going to talk about someone's bum.
Maybe Tendies. Look out, shippers.
Using O2.
Yep.
But I like the Jurassic Park kind of references, and I don't know about you guys. I totally I mean, again, it's a kid show. It's not trying to be super deep, but
I don't know if it's a kid show. It's a cartoon.
That's true. That's true. Cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
But when Mariner, bit Trax, I'm like, oh, she's biting out poison to save him. Like that. I never thought anything but that from the moment I saw it, because of course that's what it is.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious. And immediately, like, even if you bought into her crazy, weird Black Ops, like, lie, like, even that situation, why would she start biting people and eating them?
I don't know.
Whatever. Like, I'm just like, these guys, even if that was true, she would still, okay, sure.
It's sort of embracing, like, 1950s, 60s sitcom kind of.
Yeah, that's true. It's like when you actually think about it, you're like, this is kind of ridiculous that they would think that. But it's like, well, but they did for one episode, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
And then we're not supposed to think about it too much.
Also, something that they did, but I thought they could do better again. Critical. Is the bartender character, because I think the joke there is not that there's a bartender who's just kind of weird. Is that like that's where you make fun of like I expected like the supervisor to be like, why are you always listening? Do a little more serving. Like that's the joke that bartenders are either you do a Guinan or Quark joke, whatever.
That they're always listening.
Yeah, I like it. It should always be like, do some real work or something, and which was kind of the joke. But like I think you need to add that sort of what we always get from Star Trek bartenders.
I did like the dramatic lighting as he was telling the tale, and like it would cut to like somebody sitting in the back with a spotlight on them and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I could see that being an interesting gag. But I just remembered, by the way, there is a C plot in this episode, which if Philip forgot the B plot, I can't even imagine.
That's right.
How far removed the C plot is.
I remember now. The captain and the explodey shuttle.
The explodey shuttle guy who was working with the Ferengi. It's such a weird.
It's there because apparently we need development with the captain right now.
Give Tendi's more meat to her story.
I mean, they're building up stuff. I'm assuming there's going to be a later episode where she's up for promotion or something, and they're going to be like, "Wait, you've lied, and there's been these incidents," because that's what they're setting up. So I have to assume that's coming.
Is she going to have her like Judge Sati episode drumhead, where the list of all the things she's ever done wrong?
Use dirtiest name when you speak it. Yeah.
This is my thought. I think this is where they're going with it. Season 2 episode, the last episode is going to be she's up for promotion. And she's going to get some.
They're reviewing her logs.
She's going to get the Sutherland or whatever, and somehow Mariner is going to be the captain. It's
how
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Darren,
it makes no sense.
I'm just.
We've had ensigns become XOs before, so I don't know why. We've had second-year cadets become captains. There are no rules.
It's not going to work out well. That's why it's all going to revert to status quo in the first episode of season 3. I'm just telling you, this is exactly where I see them going with this sort of storytelling.
I did like the scene where he's like, there were many personal mementos that were lost, like a bottle in a ship, and he's just saying the things that are right behind her. That was funny. Yeah,
it's also interesting. Like, it's also weird. It's a weird thing because you don't know.
Because without it, you wouldn't see the captain. I mean, that's honestly why it's there, is because apparently we need more time with the upper decks, I guess.
But I just like the story has no point. E2, like she doesn't like learn a lesson from it. She doesn't because she kind of just lies about it.
Yeah, and she's been lying about it. She lied last time when she said, because I think he asked her before if there was any problems in the mission, and she's like, nope. And it's like the one where her XO became a godlike being. Like, jeez.
but it's like she lies about it, and then and then he tells her about the scam, and then she still gets all her stuff back. So like the lesson is it's okay to lie about this stuff because it'll all turn out okay in the end? Question mark. I don't know. Like
and that's true. Maybe it would have been funnier if he was zipping away and she's about to put a tractor beam and then he warps away, and it's like, oh, hey, if I had been honest, I would have had time to catch him, but he's now gone with all my stuff. And then to make it funny, then she goes over, she kind of shrugs or kind of sighs, goes over to a replicator and just starts replicating replacements for all of the things on her wall until it's all filled up again. And it's like, yeah, because why not just do that? Because
well, wasn't that the joke in this episode? And I think I thought of you, Daniel. Didn't Boimler or someone say, like, why does it care about money? You could just replicate everything.
Yes.
Right.
It was Mariner who's talking to the Ferengi.
Right.
And she says that joke, and then like 2 scenes later, this is her mom getting upset that she has to give up all her knickknacks. And it's like, you don't. You can literally replicate.
But see, that's would have been funny if she, like, the last shot was her replicating, like, a whole new set. It's all the same.
Yeah.
And or even, it could be even take it one step more where she, like, replicates, like, a red ship, and then she kind of looks at it and puts it back, hits a button, and now it's like a blue ship. Like, she even customizes it in her, like, you know, obviously it doesn't even matter that it's exact to what it was.
See, even in that scenario, you show the captain outsmarting the villain.
Right.
In the scenario that we see,
she had taken scans of all her stuff, so it didn't matter that she lost it all.
Yeah. In the episode that we see, the captain gets taken advantage of, lies about it, and then gets out scot-free anyway. So like nothing happens. It's a pointless set of events. So I just don't know why we even had to watch it. I don't know.
But I also thought
I
there
feel
were
like we've added
jokes. There was the what did they? I forgot what they used, but I thought you could do a better one. It was something about like, oh, we lost another shuttle. What was their excuse of why they would say they always lose shuttles?
It's like, we'll just pretend it ran into something or fell into a black hole. It's always falling into a black hole.
But like, that's not what happens to Star Trek, like, because they always crash. Like, I mean, I feel like there was another, like, we'll just say the XO crashed it, or, you know, there's a joke there to be had. And then when they were looking at giving him the shuttle, to me, I think that's a joke that they just give away shuttles. Like, give one to Scotty.
Right.
They give one, like, they're always giving away shuttles. Like, you know.
Drop the fact that, like, look, we gave one to Scotty, you know, give one to anybody. I think, I mean, look, we've added a lot of little extra jokes to a lot of these scenes. So it's like they're almost there and they're not terrible, but I think the things we came up with for the captain and for, like, the opening Ambujitsu scenes are funnier with just a little bit more, but
like, I think the joke could be like
comedy,
you know, we're going to give them a shuttle. Like, but we only have, like, you know, 28 shuttles. Like, well, we really have 50, but you always write a lower number in the inventory. Everyone knows that.
Or they
take a lower number in the inventory
to a giant. They take him to a giant shuttle bay, and it's like all these, you know, lined up nice shuttles, and then there's like one of the Neelix shuttles, like from a trader, and he's like, "You get that one," and it's like, "What? You have all these?" It's like, "Hey, beggars can't be choosers. This is some Talaxian trader we found or something."
See, that's why. Now, that's the thing about Voyager. We never saw the quartermaster. So it could be just the case that they were just exaggerating or lying, and they were always like, oh, yeah, no, we totally have all these.
Like Scotty said, you know, you're always a little conservative on paper as an engineer. But,
How else could you say? It's a miracle how many shuttles you have.
Photon torpedoes, shuttles. I mean, you know, always underestimate.
So any final thoughts, any last things you wanted to touch on that we didn't get to, or anything else you want to say before we close this episode out, Darren or Philip?
Just that it was, I mean, I don't think it was a bad episode, but I mean, of the season, which has only been 4, this was probably the lowest, but, you know.
The lowest of decks?
Lowest of decks. What is the lowest deck on the Cerritos?
You know, we'd know that, Daniel, if we had a technical manual, or at least a blueprint of some sort.
See, it would have to be on that little in-between part between the nacelles, right?
Yeah, but that's not where they are.
No, that is not.
They're on the bottom of the saucer.
And they could do like a funny technical manual, and that'd be cool. But anyway,
it
would be fun.
I just want to
like there's a centerfold, you know, like of the ship. So
I want them to directly call out running lights in crazy circular order on the saucer. I want them to call it out because that bugs me so much. But yes,
Mr. Rutherford's guide to the Cerritos.
I don't have to say it again, right? It's a Rutherford's
guide. It would actually. That would be a really fun thing for them to do.
Fun.
The writers could totally, like, you know, during the summer break or whatever,
just like a poster or something, and you have a top view and a side view, and boom.
They could make it. They could make it an interactive website at this point, honestly, and just like you could click a deck and like there would be some interesting facts and a joke over here, whatever. Like that'd be fun. Listen, guys, we know they listen to our podcast. Yeah.
So, yes, all we're doing is making the show better, guys. That's our purpose in life.
So that was it for Gumato. But next week is an episode called An Embarrassment of Dupplers. What a dupler is, we're not sure, but I suppose we'll find out next week. Philip, if people want to get a hold of you and find out what your favorite pronunciation of any word was, how would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at NC Public Servant.
And Darren, if people were really concerned about why you just can't get the medical scan, you just have to stand there, where would they find you?
They can go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI, to find troop blogs, products, videos, and podcasts. And Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you about how you spell dupler, because it's really important, where would they find you?
There's a dupler effect?
Yeah, maybe. They can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That is the number 1, not the word. All right, everyone, until next week, I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on Animated SATI Alpha 3.